Hello and welcome to part 19 of the Tim Burton style character series. This is David Ward, and when last I left you, we had just turned Tim's base mesh into a female character, which I named Elizabeth. So since we got all that done, all the base mesh done, let's go ahead and work on getting the clothes set up. So the clothes are on this layer right here, so go ahead and click on that. And you can see we still got the vest and shirt and shoes. I think we deleted the pants because we're going to turn the vest into a dress, and you could have kept the pants if you wanted to. Well, if you want to put pants on her instead of a dress, or pantaloons or something like that. But I'm just going to make a dress out of the vest here. So let's go ahead and get rid of the tie. Go delete that, and tell you what, let me go ahead and save this as part 19 here. Oops, 19.blend. Okay, save. Okay, so now let's go ahead and hide a couple of things. Actually, let's grab Elizabeth herself and turn the subsurf down to... it's already down on 1. I was going to just turn it off, but I guess we'll need it when we start sculpting around the breast area there. Let's go ahead and hide the shirt. And let's go ahead and turn off the layer that has the rig on it, and then also the layer that has the camera and everything. So now, let's jump into edit mode here with the vest, and first of all I want to go ahead and get rid of this button up here. So I'm just going to select all that, Control L, just go ahead and delete that, and now we'll go to front view and just grab this, the top part of the neckline opening there, and let's turn on Control proportional editing there, connected, and just drag this down, increase our fall off so let's get a nice deep V-neck there for the dress. And then we'll bring the white shirt as a blouse underneath. So let's grab these points and go ahead and bring those out on the y-axis there. And don't worry about the button down there. I can see right now it's being left behind, but that's fine. We'll get it once we get the fabric part of the dress set up. Okay. Scale this just enough to get to where the base mesh is not going through, and try to make it as sort of form-fitting as possible. We can go back in with the mask tool and mask some of this area off if we need to, but we'll try to kind of sculpt around it as best we can. Let's go ahead and grab the top part here. Let's go to our side view. Now, a lot of this is just kind of, artistic creation. I don't know that there's going to be any real valuable learning tools in here. It's just kind of going in here and setting up these clothes to match the new proportions. That'll probably work okay for now. Let me bring this forward a little bit. Maybe that'll help there. Yeah. And maybe this guy up a little bit too. Out some. There we go. Oops. Thought that was part of the front. Guess not. Okay. So that's pretty decent for the top part. Let's go ahead and grab that button now and bring it out there. So just go ahead and color some of those, and looks like I cut part of the vest. Yeah, let's just, maybe that'll do it. Yeah, okay. Side view again. Let's go ahead and rotate that and bring it out. And there we go. That'll work. Okay, so now obviously we need to mess with the bottom of it to make it a dress instead of just the vest. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and grab this bottom loop here, and I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And then we'll grab this one here and that one there, and go ahead and hit smooth, so it smooths it up a little bit. And over here, since we hit smooth, we have our smooth vertex number of times to smooth. Let's go ahead and click that up a few times, so it kind of just starts to flatten out there, and then we can scale it on the z-axis as well. Okay, so let's grab this bottom loop here. I'm going to scale it up just a little bit, and let's go ahead and increase the, or not increase, but add the seam there, so it goes, so the only satin part of the dress is there on the back, and then the rest of the flowing part of the dress will be the same as the front here. So let's deselect these vertices here and go in edge select mode. Make sure everything's still selected on both sides. Good. Control E and go ahead and mark that seam. Now we'll select that whole bottom loop again, and we're going to extrude out once and go ahead and scale it up a little bit. Scale it back some, maybe a little out to the sides, and then we'll extrude it one more time and just bring it way down to about right there, just about where the knees are. And you go ahead and smooth that up. Oops. I guess when you hit smooth, it smooths it with the next vertices there in the list there. So let's just scale that up about like so, and we'll go ahead and add a couple of loops in there, 3. And now we'll grab this, go ahead and Control E, clear that seam because I saw one there on the edge. We don't need that. So now when I hit smooth, it'll just smooth it according to that one there. So for all intents and purposes, this looks pretty decent, but I'd like to make it, well, a little bigger. Come down a little bit further, and maybe add one more loop right in here. And let's make it quite a bit, billow it out some, because I'm actually going to get into the cloth modifier, or not modifier, but the cloth simulator later on. So let's make this dress actually billow out so it can move whenever we animate her walking or something. So go ahead and scale a lot of this up, and it's going to look a little odd right now because it's kind of just puffed out there in space like she's got a can on or something. But once we get to the part where I want to use the cloth tools, it should drape down nicely. So so we got that extended down, but as you can see, let's go ahead and clear that seam out too. There we go. The material for the cloth, and I should have ran that seam right as the seam, the in between the two colors as the seam rather than where it's at now. But in any case, let's grab the face select, go ahead and select down here on the flowing part of the dress, and go ahead into our materials and go ahead and say Tim Vest. And while we're in here, let's go ahead and rename all these colors to Eliza. Let's just, instead of Elizabeth, we'll just say Eliza, just for short. Copy that, and then paste that, and the black plastic we can leave, black thread we can leave. Those will be universal for the most part probably, so we'll just leave them as is. Okay, so we got the dress pretty well set. Let's go ahead and work on the shoes, I guess, since we're in here already. And we'll just grab, tell you what, let's go ahead and just delete this guy here. And then we'll give him a mirror modifier. There we go. Go ahead and pop that up above everything else. Okay, now we just edit the one shoe and it should copy over. So since we scaled her feet down, let's make this a little smaller so we have a little bit bigger window. Tell you what, we don't need this over here, so let's go ahead and collapse that window. Oops. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and scale this down to where it fits her foot a little bit closer, about like so. And then we'll grab the tip of it and just do just like we did on the foot, drag that down to where she's sort of wearing not necessarily high heels, but shoes with heels. We'll grab all of these laces there, and then that guy, rotate those down to where they're still fitting on top of the shoe. Scale those down a little bit too. And looks like we need to bring everything in, so let's just hit A, drag that in like so. There we go. And then let's go ahead and start working on the heel part. So we need to grab that, move that up some. Okay, and for the heel, let's just come in here, select. Kind of hard to see. Let's just select. Let's go to our side view and just select this bottom row of faces there. Okay, we don't need this one, or that one. Okay. And I'll just extrude down just a little bit, just to give it a nice crease right in here, and extrude down some more on the Z-axis, and then one more to give it a nice crease there on the bottom. Okay, so there we have a little bit more womanly shoe, I guess. Let's add a bit more of a crease here at the toe. And maybe sharpen the toes up a little bit too. That's a little better. Let's make them a little more pointed as well. Go to our top view. Oops. Keep grabbing part of the shoelace on accident. Okay, so those are... they'll work, I guess. They're not the prettiest shoes. You won't find a girl in a shoe store saying, "These are cute." Or at least I wouldn't imagine you would. Or maybe they would. I don't know. Maybe they're so ugly they're cute. I don't know. But anyways, select all those laces again. Make sure, scale them down. Make sure they're going into the shoe. And that'll work. Okay. So the shoes are good. Now, last but not least, let's work on the shirt. She looks kind of weird with a bald head, doesn't she? Right now, let's go ahead and turn her hair on. Just where is it at? Oh, I guess we got to grab her first. Turn that on. Okay. Not to say bald girls aren't good looking. Some of them pull it off quite nicely, but she's designed with hair, so we will turn it on just so we can get a better idea of what she's going to look like once we finish. So let's go ahead and unhide the shirt, and I'm going to turn this into, oops, I'm going to grab the shirt now, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and turn this into a mirrored object as well. So just go ahead and select this half, and good. Okay, go ahead and delete those vertices, and go ahead and add the mirror. And we can go ahead and kill that mask on here for now because we'll need to reset it up later anyways. So we'll just do that after a bit. Okay, so let's put the mirror all the way to the top, and I want to make it a short sleeved shirt here, blouse. So we'll just cut the ends of it off. Then let's add a couple of loops up here. Grab this loop, make it a little bigger, kind of have the puffy shoulder type of look here. I'll grab this, and let's add a loop right here, scale that down. And maybe one more in here, scale that up just a little bit. So kind of give it an illusion of a sort of a lacy end there. So we'll scale that down. And let's turn off this so we can scale it down. There we go. And so we kind of have the puffy shoulder look for the undershirt there, the blouse. Okay, so now we need to form fit the blouse around the breast now. So let's go ahead and turn this back on. Select those guys. Increase the fall off as we go. There we go. And let's go ahead and start. Have this neckline start plunging down. Let's go ahead and turn on clipping so make sure we're gluing together there in the middle. There we go. I'd like to bring this out enough to where we can see just a little bit of the cleavage area there. Not too much. This is a very conservative outfit from the 1800s or whenever you want to say it's from. I don't know. Let's go and grab this whole area here and hit the smooth. There we go. And again, we'll be masking off the underlying mesh, so the actual body, the breast area, will be excuse me, this area here and this area here will be masked off, so we won't be able to see that coming through the clothes. So we'll still try to model around it just a little bit better. There we go. Let's go ahead and just drag this down and maybe back a little bit. Keep it inside the dress part. Let's go grab those, go ahead and smooth them up a couple more times. There we go. Okay, had to pause for a second. Dry throat making me cough a little bit, so all better now for the most part. Okay, so we got the main chest part of the shirt done. Let's open up the collar a little bit. And you know me, I'm no fashion designer, so if you know of a better outfit to give her, feel free. Go right ahead. Maybe put her in a bikini or something. I don't know. Show off that little body we created for her. She's been working out. Summertime. Beach body. I don't know. Okay. There we go. That looks alright. So let's go ahead and save this. There we go. And I think that's pretty well it on the clothing part. The next thing I want to do is rearrange the rig a little bit so it fits the smaller hands and smaller feet and everything and all the new features. But that'll take a little while. So let's go ahead and tweak this just a tad. I see some of the base mesh coming through right in here. So let's grab this whole area and the button, and let's go and grab that button too. I'm going to move that out just a bit. Okay, tell you what, also, let's grab this loop here and scale it up so it's kind of poofing out there at the waist. Scale that. A little bit more obvious transition there. And maybe add one more loop right in here just to give it a more rounded appearance. And tell you what, let's go ahead and bring this down some so it's not arcing up like that. Okay, everything good? Good, great, wonderful. I guess I can go ahead and do the masking. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and do that. So we'll grab her and go ahead and turn her mask on. And we can see that we definitely need to change it up because that's for Tim. The mask there is for Tim and his clothes, so we need to change it to where it fits Elizabeth instead. So we'll go to our object data, go and collapse that, go to vertex groups, and go down to Tim clothes mask. Let's go ahead and name this Eliza clothes mask. And of course, since we changed its name, the mask modifier is no longer seeing it because it's still going for this one. So we'll just say Eliza close mask. There. Okay, so now let's edit this. Let's tab into edit mode and just select everything and say remove from this mask. And now what we want to do is select only what we need to have uncovered. So we'll need the legs all the way up to about the thigh area, so about right there. So we'll go ahead and select all that. And tell you what, an easier way to see what's going to be masked is instead of using vertex select, we'll go to face select, and we can see things a little bit easier that way. Okay, so let's select that loop there, and then we'll select the outer edges of the breast and try to leave the cleavage area. So we need to deselect these here. And let's go ahead and select these and there. And I guess we can select probably these guys and these guys. Go to our side view, select all the way up on the back. Okay, so let's go ahead and assign those to that and see what that looks like now. Okay, for the most part, it looks like it's going to work. I guess we need to come out a little bit more on the cleavage area and then around the shoulders. So let's tab back in. And I guess let's go to vertex select mode so we can deselect. Tell you what, let's go select inverse, and then we will select the ones that we need to take off of there. There we go. And we'll go ahead and remove those from the mask. Come back out. And a lot of trial and error when it comes to this. So let's go ahead and select this one and this one. And let's get these top guys here. And that one. And I guess this guy, these guys here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and remove those as well. So tab back out. And the shoulders look good, but I can still see. Need to add these guys to the removal. There we go. And it should be good now for the most part. Well, for the most part, that'll be fine. I mean, if you're going to get into detailed like poses and everything where you can actually see underneath the clothes areas and see the masking, you can go back in and change it then. But just for the general purposes, this should work okay. So we'll go ahead and save this. And I guess we need to go ahead and tell to put the feet in the shoes. Make sure they're masked off as well, so they're not coming up through there when she's walking. Okay, go ahead and assign those this time. And there we go. Okay, now, I know I left the mirror modifier on the blouse and on the shoes, but it should still, even though it's cut in half, the mirror modifier, as long as it's before the armature modifier, which I have it there at the top on both, the armature should still control it. So let's go ahead and select a piece of the armature and go ahead and come down here, turn on the IK legs, and you can see it's controlling that foot, and this one is controlling that one. So it's still mirroring the vertex groups and everything, even though it's kind of a virtual mirror type of thing, a virtual vertex group. It's still doing it. So go ahead and clear that out, and go ahead and save. Let's go ahead and mask the shirt real quick. Let's go ahead and add a mask. I guess I deleted it earlier. I could have left it on there. Oh well. Let's see. This one should have a vest mask. Okay, let's go ahead and name that dress mask. Okay, save that, and now we'll come up to the modifiers and say dress mask. There we go. Invert. And now we need to edit this one, and let's do the same thing. Let's select that vertex group, and then we'll select the inverse, and then everything that we need to not be in the mask, we will remove it as we select it. There we go. So we'll select those, and need to select down in here this one there probably, and that will probably be good. Let's go ahead and remove that. Go ahead and tab back out. And okay, so there we go. Nice and easy, quick and easy. Okay, so now we have her clothes pretty well done. Remember, the masking modifier needs to be at the very bottom or you're going to run into problems. So make sure if you haven't done that already. I think I said something about that in one of the previous ones. But yeah, make sure the mask is at the very bottom or it's going to confuse Blender and it's going to keep crashing and drive you insane. So let's go ahead and save that. Let's go ahead and zoom our camera out. Let's go ahead and turn the camera layer on. Grab our camera, zoom that out. Reposition the look at target there. And tell you what, let's zoom out even further so we can actually see her shoes as well. Okay, maybe zoom in just a tad. Go ahead and save this, and I'll go ahead and do a test render and pause recording so you don't have to watch it render. But we'll be right back with Elizabeth and her clothes. So be right back. Okay, and here is Elizabeth in all her glory. So there we go. This is part 19. Part 20 we'll get in, like I said, and we'll rearrange the rig a little bit and see where we get from there. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in part 20.